Welcome to George Coll Fine Art. Here, the viewer is encouraged to get outside and paint from life. George's job is to provide the tools to solve the many technical challenges faced in rendering landscape paintings. View the library of landscape paintings offered and become a subscriber. You can also purchase tutorial videos, plus original tutorial and studio paintings. Thank you. And if you like what you see, click the subscribe button and join in on the fun.
Hello and welcome to part 2 of Gila River Trek. Oh man, today was progress day because I really worked with balancing the value colors, enriching the colors also. You can see a really positive outcome. And off camera I added a few trunks, so no big deal there. But follow me step by step to see how we really developed this painting. That is a great foundation for part 3, which is going to be working on detail. So, get outside and paint. It's summertime finally. Well, almost summer. It's late May. Paint with your friends, get critiques, and don't be intimidated by a white canvas. Just do it. All right. Let's get started. Bye-bye. Hey, hello, and welcome to part 2 to Gila River Trek. Today is balance day, so we've got to get this, get the darks right and the nice subtle greens right. So we want to get that color and value right. And start working on a little detail today too. So that's what I want to accomplish in the next 30 minutes or less. Okay. So with that, I got a fresh look here and I can see my darks are just not dark enough green in here. And I want to get that. And then my greens are just a little too flat. I want to get those two things working in coordination with each other. So let's go back and get some good dark greens up in this area. So I'm going to go with this thing called Wintin, which is a student grade dark Viridian. So we will get some of that. Squeeze out a little bit more and here we go. Viridian. And we need some ultra blue and some brown. And some more Viridian. And we have a deep, rich, dark green. Okay, with that, let's go start getting some paint on there. I'm starting with a number 4 Rosemary 279. I ended up with it yesterday. It's soft, it's nice to work with. And you can see right away what positive effects it has on the painting. I mean, right away. I had just a little light green from yesterday. It was a little too dark. I want to go up and lighten it up just a little bit as I go this way. And I'm intensely looking at my reference and taking my cues from that. To about come over to this area, and that's about it that we're going to get from those darks. I also need some darks over in this area, in just a few areas. And I think I have a drawing error. I think the darks have to come in here. And they have to go up here a little bit. Yeah, that seems to work. And where else? I think I need to bring some of my darks down here. I think a little lighter for the water. Just have some gray green left over from yesterday, so I'm using it to work in the water. Okay. I see some other darks over in this area, which I didn't quite get appropriately enough yesterday. And also I need a few up in here. Now, the next question is, do I need some more darks in the rock? So I'm going to make some blue and brown. And I think I need a good strong dark in here. And I just need some touches of dark. Where it needs to be done. I think this is a little less steep, that angle there. And just seems to be some I think I want to go back to this dark here, which is very dramatic, with this bluey brown thing here that I have. All right, I'm getting back to make a judgment call. Whew, boy, that sure made it darker. I hope I didn't make it too dark, but we'll see when we do that overlay. I'm going to pick up all this stuff and move it, clean my brush, and move on to the lighter stuff using the same brush. I broke my razor blade scraper, and I wish I had it to clean my glass, but I don't. So I am going to clean my brush and now make I'm going to use a lighter Viridian. It's by the same company, it's Winton. It's just called just regular old Viridian Hue. I mean, that's the cheapest there is right there, and it's such a good color for a student grade. And I'm working on the lighter stuff here, the overlays, because the shadows are underneath the lighter colors, and that's what let me see. I'm going to get some emerald on there. Emerald. So the emerald is a Gamblin product. Now that is too darn bright. So let's gray it down. I'm using some Portland gray. Cool. And I will add some yellow to it. And that should bring it to a more respectable place. And I think that might be it. I see more yellow in some of those things, so I'm going to go yellow over here. And more emerald, so I'm making a secondary color here with some, it's more of a yellow deal here. You can put some yellow ochre in it too. You can see the subtle difference. At least I can see it right here. I don't know if you can see it on the screen. I hope you can. And trying to get that dark stuff out of my brush. All right, here we go. You can see I use it a lot in bringing about some needed color here. And here I want to see how I'm rubbing it into the lower layer to try to bring about the necessary color I want. And if you need more green, just come in. And I think there's a lot of green that comes all the way down here. I'll lighten this up just a little bit. Got to be cautious putting too much white in it because it really just dulls it out too much. Whoop. All right, here we go over into this neighborhood and trying to work on these areas right in the center of the painting, lower center. I think I'm losing some of my vibrance. I'm going to add some more Viridian student grade hue, and that is doing wonders. That is doing a good job. Let me get back and take a judgment call again. Oh, wow, that's really making a difference. I lost some of my good darks right down here against the water, and that is too bad. I think the green stuff is working along pretty good now. I think I want to get in here and do the shadow that's needed to show the difference between light and shadow that you can see clearly on the reference. All right, let's get a little bit more good squeaky stuff over into here and here. And time to move over into that shadow problem I have. Okay. New paper towel. Now, if I had a razor blade cleaner, I wouldn't have to do all this paper towel work. I wouldn't waste so many paper towels. Okay, let's make a mixture with something like King's Blue, with some gray. And there's a little bit of green in there too, just a little bit. but it's a predominantly blue deal. You can see I'm really whacking it in there and smashing it to get a good feeling for what it is. And now I'm going to clean my brush, and I'm going to put a lot of turp right next, or Gamsol right here next to it, and kind of make a very thin wash. And let's see what this does. And then you can go in a little bit more cautiously to see if in fact you're overdoing it or underdoing it. I think that worked. And I can tell back here that there is a shadow. If you cannot, then just go back into a little bit darker into your cool blue, that royal blue, king's blue, and wax them in there. I don't know if whack is the right term, but it says what you gotta say. I'll put some over in there and also down in this area here. Now I need some really good, that is really coming along. I think I have too much right in here of the lighter squeaky green, and I need maybe a little bit of dark in there in a few places, and that's what I'm doing now. And I need some good lights in here. So I have some of this squeaky green stuff left over, and I'll say it's coming through here. And I will put some kind of in the background here. And to help describe that there's light coming through these darks. See how I'm just kind of lightly dabbing it on? And I'm putting some in the front too. And again, I'm getting my inspiration from looking at the reference. And let me get some lights on top of these squeaky greens, these kind of a yellowy green that I have here. And I'm just continuing to look for these light spots. All right, I'm going to decide what to do here with my time left over, and I'm looking pretty good. So maybe it's time to start on water. I know I have work to do up here, complete the sky, it's kind of blotchy. But that's kind of no-brainer stuff. Let's make the water look like water. All right. So I'm going to go to a smaller brush, and I'm going to get some cobalt and some white. Oh, I have some contamination in my bottom of my knife. Oh, darn it. So that stuff is no good. Let's go back to some cobalt. And let's get some white. I'm going to get a little ultra in there too. In other words, if you have some of this stuff up in the sky, it's going to reflect down into the water. So, what do I have here? I've got a number 1279. Nice delicate brush. And I'm not going to cover up all those nice darks I have. But I'm going to start carrying them over in kind of a canopy design here. And up in here they go up quite a ways. That might be working. Let me take a look back here. I need to be brighter. What was I thinking? No. Just good pure strokes. Picking up some contamination from the stuff down below. You really need just kind of some good pure strokes here. For over here on the right is kind of a pebble, it's kind of a warmer thing. I'm going to add some Naples and some green, Naples, white, and some gray. I think I got too much green in there. More gray. Let me see what if I can do with gray here. Problem is I bought a bunch of contamination in my white, so I'm going to give up on this mixture. Put it over there. Pick up this white stuff that's contaminated because I've been mixing with my brush and not my knife. I'm to blame for that. One more look at my time, 7 minutes, eternity. Okay, got a nice clean swath of white. Okay, now I'll start mixing the stuff. Make sure the bottom of my knife is clean. Okay, I've got some gray here. It's a little bit of a warm gray. And I am going to clean my brush. And start dabbing some of that in. Now when you do this, you need to keep in mind you need some darker edges. So I've added more gray to it. And a touch of ultra. And some dark green. And I'm going to put some of that in. Darker green, more blue, a little bit of brown, dark green. And I'm going to dab some of that on. I definitely need lighter in the stone, so let's go back to light. And I'm going to get some cobalt in that mixture. Cobalt. And some stronger cobalt at the bottom of it, right in here. And I can see that in the reference. This is the Gila River that you see here. It's a beautiful place. I hiked it a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, and the water was just so nice to be going through. Of course, it was a bit chilly, but you walk through it so many times you just leave your shoes on. Otherwise, you'd be taking your shoes off and cleaning the sand out all the time. Now I'm going to go with my delicate knife and see if I can do some. You do these nice, delicate, sharp edge stuff here. It just really lightens things up. That has had the best effect so far. All right. Enough of that for now. Let's get a little bit more green reflection stuff going on in the water. So I've got some of this green stuff we had left over. I added some cobalt to it. And I'm going to put some of that in some of the dark areas. And then I'm going to get some of that nice greeny stuff we have and put some of that in. Boy, you can spend a lot of time just looking at this water and going back and forth with it. I need some really good dark in a few more places, like right in here. Come on. Some darker brown on the banks here in a few places, but actually I think it's more of that Portland warm color. So I'm going to just put some of that right in here. I'm getting into detail, as you can see. And right along here there's like a white bleach white along the bank here, like right in here. See it? That made a good difference. And boy, the upper part is really light, like right in here. I just noticed that. It's really light. All right, so we're getting pretty far into everything here. I don't want to get too much detail, but let's try to get some of those trunks back. How much time do I have? No, I don't have enough time. So off camera, why don't you get some branches, dark and light in there. I'm going to turn this thing off before it scares me. Stop. All right, thanks very much for coming by for part 2 of Gila River Trek. All right, I'll see you in part 3 and we'll finish this thing. Bye-bye.